places, but then again, he didn't believe in ghosts until he met Roland Knowles during the renovations of the cafe. The resident ghost had been the lighthouse keeper at the turn of the 20th century. He was murdered by someone who cut the rope holding him to the catwalk railing as he washed the outer storm panes surrounding the rotating light. The keeper would not give up the location of the pirate treasure he had found and reburied. He was killed because of his silence. To this day, Roland stands his post up in the lighthouse and guards the ships offshore. He also continues to protect his riches that have never been found. Jay and the ghost exchanged banter about the treasure constantly. Jay swears he will find it someday, with or without the ghost's help. And Roland disagrees, knowing he promised Martha, Jay's mom, that he would never let it be found. Neither Martha nor the ghost wanted anyone else to die because of the gold. Even though Jay had found several clues left behind that supposedly would lead to the treasure, he was still no closer to finding it than when he first started looking for it. Walking to the rear of the house, Jay entered the keeper's cottage through the slider off the kitchen. He hadn't even got one leg through the door when his 2 dogs came bounding out of the adjacent room to greet him. Angie, his golden, and Pickles, his papillon, had become his through 2 different abandonment issues. He loved his dogs and couldn't envision his life without them. "Come on, girls, let's go out," Jay said, sidestepping away from the open slider. He stood on the deck laughing while watching his 2 furry roommates frolicking together in the dunes. Pickles tried hard to keep up with Angie, but her legs were too small to do so. Angie would lie down and let the small dog catch up, but then take off again as soon as she did. Jay sat down on the steps. He loved these off-season days. The cafe was only open part-time, and he could relax a little and enjoy his life on Anchor Point. During the winter, he had done a little bit of treasure hunting and a lot of research on his property. There were still nights he would wake up in a cold sweat, reliving the disastrous events of his last months in Boston. He had left the city and his occupation as an attorney under challenging circumstances. He would have to live with the outcome of his final case, and even if he was framed and blackmailed, the sick feeling of what had happened would never go away. Jay only hoped that by helping others for the rest of his life, he could somehow make up for the one wrong decision that had defined the end of his law career. Pickles climbed up on the deck and wanted to sit in Jay's lap. He picked up the black and white dog and hugged her tight. Angie, not wanting to be left out, jumped up on Jay's other side and leaned in for her share of attention. The trio sat in the warm sun, enjoying each other's company. It was a peaceful moment until Angie started to growl a low, throaty growl and jumped off the deck, looking toward the ocean. Jay shaded his eyes against the sun and looked in the direction of the dog's attention. A man was standing there in the distance. He didn't move. He just continued to stare at the trio. Jay told the dogs to stay, and he started toward the figure. He was within 20 feet of the stranger when he had just disappeared. Unfortunately, Jay thought he recognized the ghost's face. "Come on, girls, treat time," he said to the dogs, returning to the cottage and opening the slider to let them in. Jay climbed the stairs to the 2nd floor with a heavy heart. He sunk into the chair at his desk and pulled out his briefcase from his days in Boston. Still having some connections in the city, he knew exactly who he had to call to confirm his suspicions. After a lengthy conversation, Jay hung up. Sitting there, he stared straight ahead, lost in his own thoughts. "Bad news?" Jay turned. Roland Knowles had shimmered into his office. "Yes, I am afraid so, my friend. Have you, by chance, noticed a new ghost wandering around the property?" "I have seen him. He does not look happy. Do you know him?" "I did."